Welcome to the National Catholic College Admission Association College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but will be around for the entire session to answer questions. My name is Beverly and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of a few sessions happening, so please be sure to check out the schedule on the website for April 7th and April 24th, which are the next programs with this group. You can sign up for those at the same place that you signed up for this event. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/NCCAA-LA. Again, that's strivescan.com/NCCAA-LA. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Benedictine.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you so much to everybody joining us here. My name is Avery Miller and I will be presenting about Benedictine College. It is my alma mater, and so I'm very excited to get to share some of this with you guys. So Benedictine College is a small private liberal arts college located in the Midwest. We are about an hour north of the Kansas City metro area, so right in the middle of the United States. We have just about 2,000 students within our campus. We are a residential campus, which means that about 85% of our students will live on campus in campus housing all 4 years of their time with us. Some of our most popular majors are going to be our biology program, where a lot of students will then pursue a medical field degree. We have special advisors for our biology students who are wishing to pursue pre-med. Our business department is our largest department. We have 7 different majors within that department itself. Then our engineering building, or our engineering department, nursing department, and music department are some of our other most notable ones. As far as admission to Benedictine College goes, we are a test optional institution. So we require you to send in your application to Benedictine. We require your transcripts from high school, and then one of a few tests. So if you submit the ACT, SAT, CLT, TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo, depending on what your first language is, we will accept any of those, though we also have test optional opportunities. If you are unable to submit one of those exams, we may ask you to sit for an admission interview via Zoom instead. So 100% of our students will receive some sort of academic merit scholarship. Typically, those range between around $11,000 to $15,000, depending on the academic caliber of the student. Mentioned a couple minutes ago, so Benedictine College's mission is that we are a Catholic Benedictine liberal arts and residential college, and its mission is to educate young men and women within a community of faith and scholarship. So those 4 pillars that you see there kind of withhold that mission. So the Catholic and Benedictine pillar uphold the faith aspect of our college. We are a Catholic school. We are about 80% Catholic on campus, and we do have an abbey with about 40 monks who live on campus there with the students. The liberal arts pillar supports our scholarship part of our mission statement. So we are a liberal arts college. That means that only about 60% of your courses are going to be within your major department, and about 40% of those classes are going to be within a wide range of different topics. And we think that that's the best way to educate young people. It gives students a really great worldview kind of moving on after college. And then our residential pillar upholds that community. So like I said, most students will live on campus all 4 years, and we think that this directly contributes to that college lifestyle. Students live in community with one another. It's really easy to make friends, get to know people, get involved on campus, and we think that that just makes for the best opportunities to take advantage of those opportunities on a college campus. As I stated, we're a little bit over 80% Catholic. We have 19 different athletic teams. So if any of you students want to participate in an varsity athletic team, you can fill out a recruitment form on our website. We are a smaller school, so we are very happy to have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Most of our classes are going to be around 20 to 25 students. It allows for a lot of kind of one-on-one time with different professors, so you're getting a lot of individualized attention there. 50 different majors are offered at Benedictine College, including brand new STEM majors, as well as a new graphic design and architecture major as well. We do have about 45 international students currently from around 20 different countries. Just some kind of results that Benedictine College has been proud to boast here. So over 65% of our students will gain field experience or internship experience, compared to about 55% of students at other schools. Most of our main kind of pre-professional programs require some sort of internship or field experience before graduation. So you're really getting to try out that position and that job before you're actually in it. It really prepares the students well to enter their career. 9 in 10 graduates are going to enter a career of their choice, and about 96% of students from the class of 2019, which is actually my graduating class, secured a job or volunteer position or graduate school placement before graduation. And we are very proud to also be alma mater to Wangari Maathai, who in 2004 won the Nobel Peace Prize. As far as tuition and pricing goes, we do offer 10 full tuition scholarships each year through our presidential scholarship competition. So if you are a current junior, keep that in mind, and you may be notified once you apply next fall that you are eligible to compete for those scholarships. Obviously, it's a little bit further for you all to travel. So if you're unable to make it to campus to compete in person, we would be able to accommodate a virtual participant to the interview and essay portion of that competition. And also, if you are a national merit finalist, we also award full tuition scholarships for that, as well as perfect scores on your SAT or ACT. 100% of students are going to receive some sort of financial aid. And then the average academic merit scholarship is going to be $15,000 per year. That is my contact information. I will also put it in the chat. But again, my name is Avery Miller. I am the Assistant Director of Admission. My email is there. And then the number that says the mobile is also my WhatsApp number. So if anybody needs to reach out to me directly through that, please feel free.
Thank you.
Thank you guys all so much.
Oh, thank you. Next up is Marymount University.
Good evening, everyone. My name is, forgot my video. Good evening, everyone. My name is Denik Savarian, and I am the Associate Director of International Missions at Marymount University. Thank you all for having me and joining us tonight. I'm excited to introduce you all to Marymount. So we are a small private Catholic university founded in 1950 by the Religious Sacred Heart of Mary. We are conveniently located on the East Coast of the United States in Arlington, Virginia, just under 10 kilometers away from our nation's capital of Washington, D.C. So our students have kind of the best of both worlds, living in the safe suburbs of one of the most educated cities in the United States and having the abundant opportunities that a metropolitan city like D.C. has to offer. Just a few points of pride for us. We are actually #1 in campus ethnic diversity in all of the universities in the regional south of the United States. That's probably one of my favorite things about campus, is that you walk through campus and you hear a bunch of different languages being spoken. We actually have more countries represented within our student body than states, with over 75 countries represented and 49 different states. We are #2 with the most international students on campus, and we actually are #1 in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area for having the most international students on a college campus. We are a small but mighty school with only about 3,500 students total studying on campus. That equates to 15 students for every 1 professor, as far as a student to faculty ratio. And 100% of our students will pursue some sort of internship or clinical experience for their program, because it is guaranteed. That is a part of our program. This is a list of kind of what is offered on the undergraduate level. Some programs to note is going to be our computer science and information technology programs. Northern Virginia is a great area for the IT and tech industry, with Amazon choosing their next headquarters to be in Northern Virginia. And with that comes a lot of prospects for job and internship opportunities. Other majors of note are going to be our health sciences and nursing fields, as well as our education fields. So as I said, every student is guaranteed at least one internship before graduation. It is part of the program that they will take on. Because of our location, it's an amazing location to be in with regards to a lot of the different opportunities out there. Like, as I said, with Amazon headed over to Northern Virginia, and with just the nation's capital being a hub for all things in terms of the politics industry, teaching, the arts. A lot of different companies are in the DC metropolitan area, and therefore a lot of our students actually go to these companies for internship opportunities. Our students pursue hands-on research. Because we are a small school, we have close, undivided attention from our professors to our students. When it comes time for faculty members to do research, they turn to our undergraduate students to potentially help with their research. These are just some of the examples that we have. If you look at the picture with the prosthetic arms, the man is Dr. Bubar, Eric Bubar. He works with our students in our 3D printing lab to teach mechanical and biomedical engineering. We have a service project within our curriculum as well that allows these students to build these prosthetic arms and also send them to countries in need. One of which we do have a service project in Nicaragua specifically. So we are building prosthetic arms in the classrooms and sending them out with our study abroad students to potentially help out those in need. Our community, we have over 30 different student organizations on campus. These are just some of them listed here. We are also an NCAA Division III school with over 22 teams. Our strongest teams are going to be our men's soccer, men's basketball, women's soccer, women's basketball. And then just for this specific year, we have introduced men's and women's wrestling as well. If you are interested in pursuing any of our athletic Division III athletic teams, please reach out to us. How do you apply to Marymount University? So we are a part of the Common App, or you can apply through the MU application. We require academic records, proof of English language proficiency, and we are test blind, meaning we do not require SAT or ACT scores. Otherwise, you can provide SAT or ACT scores for English language proficiency. All eligible students are automatically considered for merit-based scholarships at the time of application. There is no secondary application for scholarship consideration, and scholarships range from $20,000 to $25,000 renewable. Our recommended deadlines are going to be June 1st for fall and November 1st for spring. However, we are rolling. Here are just some of the English language proficiency requirements that we will take to fulfill the requirement. And then that's it for me. So again, my name is Zenek Savarian. I'm the Associate Director of International Missions. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Salve, Regina University.
Thank you, Beverly. Hi, everyone. My name is Ron Beck, and I'm the Director of International Recruitment and Admissions here at Salve, Regina University. I'm delighted to introduce you to a unique school with an unusual name, a distinct mission, and a truly amazing campus. Like all of our institutions tonight, Salve is accredited. Our roots go back almost 200 years to Dublin, Ireland, where a group of women provided education, healthcare, and social services to the poor. With encouragement from the Catholic Church, University formed Sisters of Mercy and identified 5 critical concerns as their guiding principles: women, nonviolence, the earth, anti-racism, and immigration. Today, there are 17 Mercy universities in the United States, each offering a variety of academic programs and focused on these critical concerns. Of course, international students choose Salve for many of the same reasons that US students do. Take teaching. Our classes are small, nothing is larger than 35, and we have over 40 different academic programs, all of them with internships and research options. You can find international students in every field, but the most popular are business-related majors, the sciences, global studies, and international relations, psychology, and our 3+2 full-degree engineering partnership with Washington University in St. Louis. Our distinguished and accomplished faculty have teaching, research, and practical experience in a variety of academic fields. We do not use graduate teaching assistants, and when students need support, we offer subject tutoring, a writing center, customized advising, and even English conversation partner programs. The result is consistently strong rankings by US News and World Report for both best undergraduate teaching and best research universities. We're located in the small state of Rhode Island, and I think students often overlook us because we're overshadowed by the big cities of New York and Boston. But being where we are located, right on the coastline, and you can see from this map that the ocean is very, very close to us. Location is important to selecting of Salve. The campus is absolutely stunning, and it's considered one of the 50 most beautiful colleges in America by both Condé Nast Traveler and Architectural Digest. Several movies have been filmed on campus, in fact, 2 of the big Hollywood blockbusters, and we find the summer conferences, car shows, and the Newport Film Festivals go along with the music festivals that the city of Newport's known for. It also has a great reputation for being safe. Emergency services are close to campus, as are the scenic Newport Harbor, 2 state parks, a national bird sanctuary, dozens of museums and art galleries. And with your Salve ID card, the bus transportation around town is absolutely free. As we said, we were talking about the teaching here, and I think that's one reason students do choose us. It's not always the beauty of the campus. All of our classes are less than 35 students, and many of them, as it says here, are close around 19 students per teacher. We also have some pretty great facilities here. Technology-supported classrooms, labs, collaborative learning spaces. There are studios and exhibit space for the visual and performing arts, a center for business outreach, gymnasium, fitness centers, and an esports gaming facility. As we said, the location is terrific. Newport is the home of world-class sailing, the International Tennis Hall of Fame, which is about 1 kilometer from campus, and those iconic summer music festivals I mentioned before. We have more than 8 student organizations and performance groups, including Model UN, the Mad Batters Baking Club, a surfing club, international students. We have 20 men's and women's athletic teams, including equestrian, sailing, soccer, rugby, and surfing clubs. We offer free bicycles on campus, and every student participates in community service because it's a requirement of the university. We consider ourselves one of these international friendly institutions. There's no application fee for international students. We are SAT optional. We provide free airport pickup for international student orientation. We will guarantee campus housing. In fact, we don't even charge for housing during the school break. So if you're here over a lengthy term, there won't be any charge for that. International merit scholarships range from around $18,000 to $30,000, and there's some full tuition awards for really top students who are performing well academically. And we also provide you with a dedicated advisor for immigration, visa, and transition help, a support team for international student mentors, and a flexible English proficiency program with free English language support that doesn't cost extra. We are a member of the Common Application, and we use a holistic application process. That means we read everything that we ask students to submit. We can talk a little bit later about the essay prompt. We usually ask for a 500-word personal statement where Neatness counts, and your spell check and grammar check programs can really matter. We'll talk about extracurricular activities and what you can, provide us when you're looking at the school, because in the holistic process, we're trying to create a freshman class that will be interesting to the other students that come into the class as well. Thanks, Beverly.
Wonderful, thank you. Next up is the University of Scranton.
Okay, everyone. Hello, thanks for having me. My name is Maria Ramos. I am an admissions counselor here at the University of Scranton. Just a little bit about me. I am an alum of the university and I graduated with the class of 2021 with a BA in strategic communications. Now, I'm not going to hold myself up talking about myself. I'm going to hop right into our presentation. But the University of Scranton is a Catholic Jesuit university. We were founded in 1888, and in 1942, we were entrusted into the care of the Jesuits. Now, this is a pretty pivotal point in our history, simply because so much of our educational experience has to do with Jesuit principles. Now, the three big ones that I have here on campus are cura personalis, meaning care of the person, magis, meaning the restless pursuit of excellence, and then the principle of being men and women for and with others. Now, this all has to do with creating well-rounded individuals who carry these principles not only in their education, but also into their personal lives and beyond. Now, speaking of our students, we do have a about medium-sized school. Our undergraduate class is about 4,000 students, a little bit under that. And our first year class is typically a little bit under 1,000 students. So it's a pretty good balance between getting to know new people all the time, but also always having a friendly face in a crowd. An average class size of about 20 students, although we do have a hard cap at 35 students per classroom. So you're never going to just be a face in a sea of students. We do have a 13:1 student to faculty ratio, although the rule of thumb is that the further you go along, the smaller your classes actually get. So sometimes 3 to 4 other students in a classroom. It's a pretty interpersonal setting. Moving on, we offer 69 different majors and 50 different minors for our students, and those are split across 3 different colleges in our university. We have our Pennsylvania College of Professional Studies, which is geared towards our helping professions. We have the Kanya School of Management, that is our business school, and every other major is under the College of Art and Science, and that is liberal arts, science, and technology. We also do offer honors programs for all of our majors, and we have graduate programs, and some of those graduate programs are accelerated graduate programs. So you are able to get your master's in 5 years, for example. We do also offer pre-health and pre-law programs. So for anybody interested in medical school or law school, we have got you covered. Over the last 20 years, over 80% of our students who graduate from our pre-health program and 93% of our students who graduate from our pre-law program do get accepted to medical and law school. So not too bad of a rate there. Moving on, I mentioned before, we're a Catholic Jesuit university. So that kind of manifests itself in a few different ways here on campus. One of the really cool ways is through our retreat center. We have a lake house. It's about a 40-minute drive from campus. And these retreats can be spiritually based, or they can be pretty worldly based, up to students, but they're a pretty fun way. If anybody's familiar with Kairos, that's kind of the way that we carry those through. We also do offer daily and Sunday masses. We have 2 chapels and a mosque on campus, as well as interfaith resources and an interfaith prayer room. So if whatever you practice isn't immediately available, we will get you to it. And I mentioned before, one of our big principles is being men and women for and with others, which is pretty apparent through our 170,000 hours of service every single school year. It is something very important to us here at Scranton. So if that's something that is important to you, you can do it here in Scranton, just 2 blocks away from our campus, or you can also do it abroad. But moving on, Scranton is definitely a very involved community. We have over 80 clubs and organizations on campus. Some of our clubs can be academic, others can be more leisurely based, whatever you are interested in. We definitely have options. Every major does have some sort of club affiliated to it. We also host over 900 events per school year, so certainly not a suitcase school. We are a bustling campus. There is always something to do. We also have 23 different sports, and they are all in our D3 league. And in addition to that, we have club and intramural sports. So if you want to play sports, but you don't want the commitment of a D3 sport, don't worry about it. We got you covered. Moving on, let's talk about applications. Now, our application is free. It is on the Common App, so don't worry about fee waivers. Just a couple important things to remember. couple of important dates, I should say. November 15th is our early action deadline. What this means is that you get to hear back from us just a little bit sooner. So it is a non-binding application. And what's really cool about applying early action is that we actually don't reject students during this period. We simply defer them. So if you're applying to an extra competitive program, it's kind of nice to have that safety net there. March 1st is our preferred application deadline. However, we do accept students even after that. We're pretty flexible with our students and we take pride in that. We understand it can be a little difficult. We do have a holistic approach to our application. So we read through everything that you send us. That is very important to us, getting to know our students one-on-one. And if you plan to apply with test scores, I do have these scores, like the average range right here at the bottom. However, I will like to put out there that we are going to be test optional next year. So it is not necessary to submit your scores. Now, I understand that applying to college and paying for college can be very stressful, but don't worry, we do a pretty good job at keeping it reasonable with our students and their families. 99% of our first-year students did receive aid through the University of Scranton. Now, we do it two different ways. We have merit-based scholarships and we have need-based aid. For merit-based scholarships, it is a very straightforward, very easy thing to do. All you have to do is apply. When you apply, we automatically review you for any scholarships that you're eligible for. So when you get your acceptance letter, you also get your merit-based scholarship amount. Need-based aid is also just a very easy process. All you have to do is file your FAFSA. When you file FAFSA, we receive it, we review it, and we let you know what grants you are eligible for through it. And our average financial aid package was about $37,000 for this school year. So we keep it pretty generous. But that is all I have for my presentation. Thanks so much for listening, y'all.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Santa Clara University.
All right, buenas noches, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lorenzo Gamboa. I am one of the admission officers here at Santa Clara University, and I get the privilege of actually getting to share with you guys a little bit about our university. First and foremost, I am an alumnus of Santa Clara myself, so the information you're going to hear from me in the next 5 minutes or so, extremely biased, so keep that in mind. Now, Santa Clara University, the place you're looking at right here, is the oldest university in the state of California. We've been around since 1777, became a university formally in 1851. Now, we are located conveniently in the heart of Silicon Valley. We are right next to the city of San Jose, Santa Cruz, San Francisco, you name it, major airports, in and out access, convenient for anybody. Almost 50% of my student body is in-state, 50% is out-of-state, also coming in from international waters. So you're going to be in a very diverse place while coming to study at this university. What makes it unique is definitely its location. I mean, this is the land of opportunity. So as I mentioned earlier, invent the life you want to lead. Here, Google, Yahoo, Lockheed, eBay, NASA, Young, KPMG, Pricewaterhouse, Deloitte, Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Tesla, Electronic Arts, NVIDIA, you name it, you have a hub here and access. Because of that, I have more job offers, more internship offers than actually current students enrolled at Santa Clara. Now, what makes us different? Maria mentioned it earlier, she did a wonderful job about the Jesuit philosophy. We are a Catholic Jesuit institution, one of 27 in the country. And what makes us different is that we try to educate you mind, body, and spiritually, making sure you understand where you're at 17, 18, 19, 20 years of age, whatever, and trying to figure out how does that implement and work forward and helping others. And so that's the big difference here at Santa Clara. I also tell students you need to be open-minded with what comes at you, because the three things that will govern anybody's profession is going to always be money, politics, and religion. So if you can understand all of those three pillars, you're going to be fine no matter what area you decide to go into. Now, Santa Clara, about 5,500 undergraduates, about 3,000 graduates on top of that. That puts us just shy of 10,000 students. So we're not a big school, but we're also not a small school either. 11-to-1 faculty student ratios, 23 to 24 students on average per class. Almost 90% of my students are graduating in 4 years. The ones that mess it up, my business and my engineers, because they get the 4+1 opportunity. So they could stay here for 5 years, get a master's and a bachelor's degree. Engineering is the only one with a PhD if you decide to go all the way. Now our class is, again, very Socratic. We want you guys to know that you are in command here. You will do the education. The good thing is that you get that one-on-one attention. The bad thing is that you get that one-on-one attention. So if you fall asleep and don't want to go to class, they're going to notice that too. Now, we were founded as a liberal arts school, so the arts are really big and deep at Santa Clara. So if you're into that, or if you're in the technology and innovation and sciences, we do that too. Again, Silicon Valley. But I always tell students, don't forget that some of the best skills you're going to gain in life also come from being creative. So learning how to balance your left brain and your right brain is critically important here at Santa Clara. We have over 20 Division I sports, over 19 different club sports, and over 150 clubs and organizations. So when I'm looking for students who are passionate enough to come in here, challenge my faculty, challenge my staff to be better every single day, but at the same time, be flexible enough to go paint your face and get on ESPN every once in a while. Now your housing, ridiculously nice here at Santa Clara. Each and every one of you will have a sink inside your bedrooms. So that's one of the big things that a lot of students here enjoy. Instead of having to go down the hall to brush your teeth, you can do that in your bedroom, right? But you also have suite styles, you have condos, you have all kinds of different options. And I encourage you guys to check out the housing options online. Food is extremely important to a lot of our students here. You're freshman 15, you're freshman 40, it's going to happen. So get involved. This is why I tell students you need to be active. You are in the most diverse place on the planet while studying here at Santa Clara. Every culture, every language, all the food you can dream about is going to be accessible to you 24/7 at Santa Clara University. We are on the common application like Salve, and we allow you guys to apply to many other institutions. Then I ask you to concentrate on Santa Clara with the supplement. And then you have to tell me which one of the 3 bubbles you want to begin your academic adventure in: arts and science, business, or engineering. The challenge for me is I will bring in, of the 1,450 students every year, 60% into arts and science, only 25% into business, and only 15% of you in engineering. All of those, again, extremely sought after, and you are pretty much guaranteed a job. More job offers, more internship offers here than actual current students. I do have pre-med, pre-law, pre-dental, pre-teaching, pre-nursing, pre-vet, pre-pharmacy, if anybody aspires to get to that next level as well. Now, this is the most important slide of the night, so please take a picture of this. We are holistic evaluation. We are test optional. Again, it's just for you to show me that you are ready to take on a challenge of Santa Clara University. We are on the quarter system, not the traditional semester. So things fly by really, really fast here at this university. Now your deadlines are coming up. You should be applying early if you can, but if not, waiting till regular decision is okay too. And we do take transfer students as well at our university. Now, if you want to stay in touch with us, I put in the chat the RFI, but also you can always connect with any of our student organizations or students to learn a little bit more about the opportunities that exist at a campus like Santa Clara. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you. Last up, we have University of Notre Dame.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Hopefully you all can see my screen in the presentation now. My name is Brendan Corsones. I am a senior assistant director in the admissions office at the University of Notre Dame. Like many of my colleagues, I am also an alum of the university, so very excited to be presenting. And a few basics about Notre Dame. We are a private Catholic research institution. We are located in northern Indiana in the United States, about 90 miles east of Chicago. We were founded by and still run by the Congregation of Holy Cross, which is a French Catholic congregation. Our founder was a French priest named Father Edward Sorin, who founded Notre Dame in 1842. And as we go through the presentation today, the quote that you see before you from Father Sorin is something that I want you to keep in mind. When he wrote that when he founded the university, this college will be one of the most powerful means for doing good in this country. And over 175 years later, this is still very much at the center of the mission of Notre Dame, that we want to allow our students to use their education and experience here to really be a force for good in the world, both on campus and after they graduate. I'd say the one thing that's changed about that quote is we're no longer just making a positive difference in this country, but all around the world with a true global influence. Our student body truly comes from everywhere, all 50 US states, over 90 countries in our student body as well. And we want to make sure that when you arrive, you're entering into an extremely strong community, very active residential life on campus, vast majority of students live on campus, and the residence halls at Notre Dame are much more than just a place where you sleep at night. They all become almost like a mini college in and of themselves, with their own mascot, colors, traditions, hall government, sports teams. They all become a place that no matter what dorm you're assigned to, from the moment you arrive onto campus, you're entering into an already existing strong community that's there to welcome you with open arms. And you're also going to find your community by following your passions. Over 500 different activities and clubs on campus. We have an extremely active student body, students that really want to grow, develop their interests and passions on campus. And we're very proud to be a Catholic university. And that's expressed in many different ways. I would say the one thing it does not mean is that you have to be Catholic to come to Notre Dame and to thrive here. We have students from all kinds of different faith backgrounds. Our beautiful Basilica of the Sacred Heart on campus, every dorm has their own chapel, but also it means very strong service opportunities, giving back during your time at Notre Dame, and an emphasis will be placed on whole person education. We don't want you leaving Notre Dame with only a degree and a job. You are going to get an amazing world-class education here, but we also want to encourage whole person development. So you're leaving Notre Dame as a more complete person than you were coming in, ready to go off and be an active and responsible leader in whatever field and community you join after you graduate. And wide variety of different academic subjects you can study here. All of our majors are housed within 4 academic colleges and 2 schools. There's the College of Arts and Letters for the more liberal arts degrees, Mendoza College of Business, Science, Engineering, our School of Architecture, and the Keough School of Global Affairs. But we place a great emphasis on a very flexible interdisciplinary education. You are going to get a very well-rounded education at Notre Dame. If you don't know what you want to study, that's okay. If you come in and change your mind, you want to add on a major, we encourage that exploration to get that well-rounded education. And a very undergraduate focused university as well, meaning an emphasis on small class sizes. You're going to get to know your professors extremely well. They're really there to help you. They are very invested in your success. You're going to get to know professors extremely well as research opportunities, access to high-level hands-on research very early on in your Notre Dame career that comes with that undergraduate focus. And we also do want to make sure, I mentioned earlier that you're not leaving Notre Dame with only a degree and a job. That's the goal. But we certainly want to help you in terms of finding those next steps after you do graduate. So we offer a lot of really wonderful resources to be able to assist you through that. Right on campus, we have an incredible career center that you can begin working with even as early as your freshman year. You can start working with the career center to help prepare you. So when the time comes and you start looking for different internships and opportunities like that, you're going to be very well prepared in order to do that. So right on campus, the Career Center is going to be extremely helpful for you. And we do also offer specific advising for our international students to be able to navigate visa OPT process. We're going to give you support to be able to do that. But also the Notre Dame Alumni Network is another extremely powerful tool in terms of helping you find those next steps. That's a real advantage with having students come from everywhere to come to Notre Dame, is they really end up everywhere doing almost anything. And that idea of the Notre Dame family that I talked about on campus does not leave you after you graduate. That feeling really stays with you. And alums and alumni clubs are very willing to work with current and former students to give you any assistance that you need in terms of finding those next steps. So I think having that kind of support on campus and off helps contribute to that 98% placement rate. That means within 6 months of leaving Notre Dame, 98% of students will have found that next step. Full-time work, graduate school, long-term service work. We'll make sure you're very well prepared to go off into the world. And again, not only with a really great job, but going off as that more complete person so you are ready to contribute positively to your community and really serve as a leader in whatever you may join. So I certainly hope that that was a helpful overview of Notre Dame. And if you have any additional questions, we would love for you to reach out to our admissions office so we can help you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. We'd now like to start the Q&A portion of our session by asking you all, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
So I'll go ahead and get us kicked off. My main advice to students is really to explore all of your options, to really do your research, look into the different types of universities offered, whether in your home country and or in the United States. Look at big schools, look at small schools, and kind of see what your best fit would be.
Yes, I would definitely piggyback off of that. Make sure that you're planning and taking your time through the entire process, utilizing the resources offered and never being afraid to ask all of the questions that you might have. Also, remember that the school itself matters less than whether or not you're happy matters less than whether you're happy at the school you've chosen. So it's all about fit, finding that right fit for you.
My advice would be to do some self-reflection. How do you learn best? How far from home do you want to be? If you're not really sure of what you want to do, turn the question around and think about the things you don't want. Maybe you don't want blood and surgery. Well, medical school's out of the picture. It still leaves the rest of the universe to choose from. Maybe you don't want a big urban school. I mean, it's up to you, but do that self-reflection because there's a lot of college choices out there.
I think my biggest takeaway here would be to not be afraid to ask questions. I think that reaching out to admissions counselors or financial aid offices or even professors can be kind of intimidating. But once you let go of that fear, it is the gateway to knowing basically everything you want to know. It's part of the research process that is so important when you're applying to colleges. So don't be shy. This is the time to be arrogant, brag about yourself, reach out, talk about yourself, go for it.
Great advice from my colleagues. I'm going to add, dream big. Don't limit yourself and go out there and shoot for the moon. Okay, you guys will get up to the right school.
I'm certainly echoing what a lot of my colleagues just said, but there is no such thing as a best school. There is only the best school for you. So try not to focus too much on rankings and ratings and making these decisions. Find what's important to you and the best school that's going to meet those needs.
Thank you. We have time for one more question. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
One thing I would want students to remember about Benedictine is that though we are a smaller school with about 2,000 students, we have a very, very active student body, and we have over 1,500 different events every year. And so we are in a smaller town, but the campus life is very, very active.
I think for Marymount University, we are a small school, but we're incredibly diverse, not just in terms of ethnic diversity, but in terms of, students from all different walks of life, young, old, religious background. 36% of our students are identify themselves as Latinx or Hispanic. 28% of our students are Muslim. So it's an incredibly diverse university, which is very rare for a small school.
For Salve, it's got to be the campus. We're built on 6 19th century estates. We're looking right out on the Atlantic Ocean. Our campus is also an arboretum with over 100 different species of trees. And we may be the only place in the United States where you can have classes in historic mansions and walk along the ocean in between classes.
I would say for the University of Scranton, it is the community that we have. I mentioned we're a Catholic Jesuit university, and those Jesuit principles really do come into play. For our students. I would say coming into Scranton as a first generation student and as a Latin American student, I was so scared to ask questions. I was so intimidated to participate. But as I went along and I spoke with my professors and I made friends, I realized very quickly that it is a very welcoming, very supportive community. And I think that's just a very important thing to have when you're looking for a school.
For Santa Clara, I'm going to say opportunity innovation. The ability to influence, again, the world. You're right in the heart of Silicon Valley with all the biggest players that will be at the table. So I want people who are ready to take that table.
When I talk with current Notre Dame students, the word that comes up over and over again is community. The fact that even though students are coming from every corner of the world, from every background that you can imagine, that they still feel that sense of belonging and that tight-knit and a supportive community on campus, I think is really special about Notre Dame, and I'd love for you to take that away.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much. And thank you to our participants as well. When you close this window, there will be a link to a quick 5-question survey. We'd so appreciate any feedback that you can provide. We would encourage you to look back at the schedule and specifically at the programming on April 7th and on April 24th. Again, you can sign on for those at the same place where you signed up for this program tonight. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Notre striveScan.com/NCCAA-LA. Again, that's strivescan.com/NCCAA-LA. Thank you so much.